as you all know, there has been some controversy since the change of government, and some claim that this government's inherently racist because it just wants public servants in particular to get on with their jobs and perhaps spend a little less time on Māori culture, having karakia and pauwhiris and singing waiata and everything. And I think most New Zealanders think that's a jolly good idea, whether they're members of Hobsons Pledge or not. I was therefore amazed to read a headline from our friends at the Taxpayers Union suggesting that ACC, and ACC, remember, is the government, body, statutory body that takes levies off employers and people for ACC, and when you get hurt in New Zealand, when you have an injury, ACC pays you out. And it's why we don't have lawyers chasing ambulances in New Zealand, because we've got the ACC system. I was therefore amazed to see this release from the Taxpayers Union on how much the ACC had spent on Maori prayers, on karakia. And to tell us more about the story, we're joined now from the Taxpayers Union by Jordan Williams. Jordan, how much does ACC spend on Maori prayers, or has it spent?
Good morning, Sean. They haven't broken it down by the particular type of rongoā, but covering Mura, which is body work, Roki Rongoā, which is native floral herbal preparations, and karakia, of course, prayer. Since 2020, since the ACC began funding these services, we're talking more than $10.5 million. For this year, we are on track to spend, or they are on track to spend $5 million on this stuff, which, look, I appreciate you will have listeners that consider there's some value in traditional medicine, but, call me a conservative taxpayer guy, but there isn't evidence behind this stuff. And similar to traditional or alternative medicine therapies, which is non-Māori related, ACC doesn't cover that, and we think it should be.
Well, does ACC? Okay, so these are treatments, Māori traditional treatments for people who have made ACC claims.
That's right.
Okay.
Including the karakia, which to me is breaks the long-held tradition that the government doesn't sort of fund spiritual treatments or
spiritual healing. It's a song, isn't there? Okay. Has there been any explanation from ACC about this?
Well, we've asked them whether what research they had conducted on relation to the value for money, and this is great bureaucratic speak. They said, well, actually yes, but it's not ready. We've funded a study to understand as part of regular monitoring of ACC-funded services, or quoting, we've started to collect data on the value that Rongoā Māori delivers for injured New Zealanders, and have commissioned research into how Rongoā Māori is improving the outcomes for our clients.
Sorry, what was Rongoā Māori again? Was that the plants?
No, that's the sort of wider scope. That encompasses the plants, the prayer, and the body work, some of which is you're not even actually touching the body. A Māori Rongoā practitioner is simply moving their hands above the body.
Okay. All right. Can I ask this
but
then?
I just want to go back to that. Yeah. The significance of that wording, though, is they're only collecting data on the benefits. That sounds a lot to me like that's not cost-benefit analysis.
Yeah.
That is, we need some evidence to show that this is good. So when people like the Taxpayers Union ask questions, we can tell them to go and take a running jump.
All right. Look, I'm just trying to... Let's make some comparisons in the Pākehā world, Jordan. I'm just trying to think of some weird whack job stuff that hippies would be into. Riki. Is Riki funded by ACC?
No, I don't think it is. And actually in the...
what about acupuncture?
I'm not sure about acupuncture, but I do just want to... There is a guidebook, a handbook for practitioners providing Rongoā Māori services to ACC Kuritaki, and it actually makes clear that any alternative treatments for which are not funded by ACC cannot be got in the back door. For example, oxygen treatment cannot be got in the back door using this traditional Māori pathway. They saw that coming.
All right. Well, it is crazy. But while I've got you here, Jordan Williams, does the Taxpayers Union advertise with the Herald?
Yes, we do regularly, including on the front page.
Okay. What do you make of what's happened with Hobsons Pledge?
I think it's absolutely disgraceful. I have seen that ad. I do not believe anything is misleading in it at all. The worst thing in it, I think, from an advertising standards point of view, is they say put the beaches back into public ownership. There is an argument that prior to these claims on the beaches around the country, that it wasn't in public ownership, it was just no one owned it, which for all intents and purposes is public ownership. What really annoys me is there seems to be this absolute unfair pile on Hobsons Pledge and labelling them misinformation or having some ulterior motive. No, from what I can tell, they're trying to get the word out and about. It's just that these activists don't like the word being out and about and say, nothing to see here, nothing to worry about, don't be silly. I can tell you that there is a heck of a lot of very senior legal practitioners, for example, very concerned about what is going on in relation to these coastal claims. And I say good on Hobsons Pledge. And as for NZME capitulating, I think it's absolutely disgraceful. There is an Advertising Standards Authority practice. They have simply resulted, it appears, to a pile-on, and that's not good enough. Like let's be honest, Sean. Is Don Brash and Elliot Epelay and those Hobsons Pledge people getting a fair suck of the salve in the media? Clearly not. When you look at the way RNZ and staff have covered this particular matter, they run to everyone but Hobsons Pledge. They shouldn't go back to them for a response. And so what is the rational thing? Well, if the media won't cover us, we'll buy some ads. And now the cancel mob, the Māori Party and their fellow travellers, frankly, just abusing their power, bullying, and to prevent Hobsons Pledge, which is literally supported by hundreds of thousands of New Zealanders, tens of thousands of donors, I understand, trying to silence them. It's disgraceful if NZME are going to capitulate like that. I think the other point, from a taxpayers union's perspective, is NZME took COVID money. It is donkey deep in lobbying for this media bailout, so the government will tax Facebook and Google to give money to the media. Well, you're turning down good money, advertising money, and yet you're willing to take money from the taxpayer. This has to stop. I think that the obvious solution is if the government is going to go through with this disgraceful media bailout bill. This is the one originally from Woody Jackson that now the PM's done a U-turn on and Paul Goldsmith has to somehow defend it. If you're going to take that money, it should have a condition, and that is that they don't editorialise or apply the preferences on advertising. As long as the advertising is legal, as long as it's consistent.
I think the problem for you at the Taxpayers, I think the problem for you at the Taxpayers Union, Jordan, is that the Herald or NZME now says it's reviewing its policies on advocacy advertising, and I suspect you're going to get caught up in whatever changes they come up with.